This is the nebulous. This is the nebulous sovereignty empire, or the sovereign nebulous empire. This is a country in part of the an anime. This is a country in an anime called Our Last Crusade, or the Rise of a New World. Why am I mentioning all this? Well, because this is my favorite country. This is my favorite place ever, in real life and in anime. What's up, everybody? It's Glecko here, back with yet another anime video. So I'm returning to our last talk about Our Last Crusade, the rise of Our Last Crusade, or the Rise of a New World, because this anime, as far as I know, is the only anime where there is an entire country purely filled with mages, right? And animes like Fairy Tail, and animes like no, it's not. No, it's not. There's Black Clover. I'm sorry, Black Clover came first. All right, Mr. Tabata, I give you. Well, no, not really, because then there's Asta, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, so it's one of two places where the entire country is full of mages, and it's set in somewhat of a modern time. So it's not like, old timey like Black Clover and Wisteria Wand and Sword. So, that was my coworker. Sorry, but yeah, this is a kingdom in modern times full of people with nothing but magic. So it's not like Black Clover, where it's back in the old days and you see them kind of living somewhat primitively. No, you see modern stuff in this show, especially on the human side, where they have more technology, which is kind of unfair. But look at that. Look how beautiful that city looks. Look at that. You can't see. You probably don't know it here, but that's actually a palace. Whenever I rewatch this anime, I constantly go back and look at this one scene right here. Look how beautiful that palace is. It has that amazing shining light. Look at the beautiful city lights, the beautiful city skyline, the skyscrapers. This is the power of magic, everybody. This is what mages are truly capable of. This is a very prosperous city. Like, everyone's happy. It's a paradise for mages. Now, all the mages who live here vary in terms of power, the usefulness of their power, or power levels, the usefulness. Sorry, again, it was a coworker. She was just wishing me a nice day. But yeah, the mages here, they all have different levels of, like, different power levels, different abilities. I'm gonna be honest, some of them don't have really useful or really powerful abilities, but every ability is cool. And that actually plays into the plot of this show later on. But I already did a review for it, so I'm not gonna go into that. But when I first, I've always wondered about I always fantasized about having superpowers and having magical powers and all of that. But recently I've been fantasizing about being with a group of people, a massive number of us, and we all starting our own nation. We all have powers, and we're just prosperous, and there's peace. We don't have to worry about rent or bills. And that's honestly what this country should be. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, because there's so many things I want to talk about, but I don't have much time. But I actually want to get into the fact that this show kind of misses an opportunity to actually delve into how everyday life is for these people. Like, we're so focused on the main characters and the war and their little love, their little stupid love romance thing. Well, it's not stupid, but just the stupid awkwardness of it and all that, when we could be talking about how these people who have fire magic and lightning magic, they're the sources of energy. There are people who can manipulate, like, space-time and all. It's just amazing, right? But we don't hear about none of this stuff. And I guess, just look at that city skyline. It's just so beautiful, right? In the inside of their palace is amazing as well. They're a very prosperous nation, which, honestly, if there was a kingdom like this in the real world, where everybody was mages and had astral power, well, that's what it's called there. But if had mage or superpowers, it would be one of the, if not the most prosperous kingdom on the planet. Of course, there's magic that's like powering that and all that. Uh, there's a royal family and all. So, but in the show, they're in conflict with the humans because when magic powers first started appearing, the humans were oppressed in this country called the Empire. So they left the well, it was multiple countries, but the Empire, they left it, formed their own country, and now they're at war. So, yeah. I kind of find that this show's a little bit unfair. Every show is pretty much unfair to mages. Mages are traditionally depicted as having no armor, no nothing like they don't have armor. They have like light clothing. They're not very durable. They're not very strong. They're not really close range fighters, which is unfair because I don't see why a mage can't be as fast or as strong as a warrior. I mean, if a warrior can train their body, a mage can too. The reason these manga creators don't do it is because they know the mage would have the advantage. But yeah, magic is just that awesome. You don't, let me ask you this. How is it fair for a 4'3", 4'3", 150-pound man with a short sword to go up against a 6'5", 300-pound tank? Like, I mean, it's like, but you don't nerf the tank. You just have it as a David and Goliath victory, but you nerf the mage. That's like, mages should, like in this show, there are these warriors, these 12 warriors who are strong enough to fight against pretty much any mage, which is kind of like, okay, but why can't there be 12 mages who have the physicals of that? But whatever. But yeah, this is the Nebulous Sovereign, the Nebulous Empire in the world of Our Last Crusade or the Rise of a New World. It's just, man, seeing this, I'm kind of sad that I have the feelings towards the show that I do because I really like this. Like, again, apart from Black Clover, there is no world where everybody has magic powers. I know you might be tempted to say Mashley, magic, and muscles, but no, not really. Not really. Because there's people who are born with no magic, they're just killed, and there are people who lose their magic. Black Clover, Asta was just an anomaly. That's pretty much all. So, but yeah, it's the fact that this was is set in modern times, and like you really get to see like what it would be like if our world had a country full of mages. And speaking of that, before I go ahead and wrap this video up, let me go ahead and speak on that. If our country had something like this, if we had a country here full of mages, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm putting myself in that country, and I got magic powers too, and I'm one of the strongest ones. But if there was a country like that in this world, it would hands down, it would be the most hated, admired, feared, envied kingdom in the world, probably in the history of the world, right? The women would be fetishized by men all over. Like, people would be scrambling to get their hands on those people. So the mages, and I think the mages would know that. So honestly, I don't really think they would breed with regular humans, not out of hatred, more so out of like kind of like how billionaires and millionaires don't just go find any rando off the street to, procreate with. Their military would probably be amongst the strongest due to having magic. And another thing about this kingdom, the Nebulous Empire, they have some technology, but their technology pales in comparison to the Empire, which again is another unfair thing. It's like, how is it the Nebulous, the people with magic, what, because they have magic, they don't they don't, delve into innovation? I mean, they live normal lives, so they would have scientists, so they should have tech just as well. So that's kind of unfair. But all right, I'm gonna get off that, I promise. In the world, in this world, where, but yeah, going back to what I was saying about if there was a kingdom like that in our world, they'd be, honestly, I think they'd be very technologically advanced, just because they would have like lightning powers, earth powers. They would be able to play around with materials, and heck, we might even have scientists who get powers and just develop that way. But it would be crazy. Yeah, I ain't gonna drag this out too much longer. I just really wanted to talk about this. I recommend people go watch Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World, but if you don't want to, I get it. I saw a comment from somebody who said that the show kind of wasn't like, the show wasn't really there, and I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I'll admit to that, but yeah, I'm actually going to do a follow-up video to this, not to this, but a video that, as I was mentioning, different magical kingdoms. So yeah. But anyway, this is Glecko. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. See you all next time.